Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
And indeed, a very good morning to you all. You know, two things just sprang to my mind. One, Murphy's Law, and secondly, Shalimar's hit Second Time Around. Second time around, we're on, and we're on with you. So fantastic Friday morning to all of you, wherever you are. Thank you so much for waking up bright and early to keep us company. If you've had those little sprinkles early in the morning, that means it's going to be a great day today, but it all depends on you. You make it so. So make the most of what today is for you, because it all is in your power to make that happen. Now, I say good morning to Barbadians, but I also say good morning to everyone, everywhere indeed. Thank you so much for watching us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb. Always grateful for your company. I don't care where you're from. Just having you here means the world to us indeed. And so we thank you for interacting with us online and also interacting with us by your comments and so on. So thank you for doing so. Remember, if you know of something or you know of someone whose story you think we have to tell us. Tell us about it by sending an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And to all of you, we say thank you. It's Friday the 13th. I'm Pearson Bowen. Don't be scared. It's just another day. I'm not one consumed by this whole thing of this myth about Friday the 13th. Oh my goodness. Nah, it's just another day. Just another day. So share that thought and make the most of it indeed today. But it's the 13th of June, 2025. We're almost into the middle of the month and we are at Friday. That means we're in for a wonderful weekend. There's a lot happening and I encourage all of you to know what's happening and to engage with what's happening on the island as well as we keep busy. So let's get started with a riddle. Yeah, I'm not giving that one up for nothing. So you call me now on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Let's see how your brain is working at this time of the morning, whether you've had your breakfast or not. I can tell. Your question right now is, what can I fill with empty hands? What can I fill with empty hands? What do you think that is? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Your turn to talk to me. What can I fill with empty hands? Is it possible? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Your hands are empty, they have nothing in it, but what can you fill with those two hands? Oops. What can I fill with empty hands? Oh dear, oh dear. I think I dropped a big hit right there. Pearson, boy, watch your mouth. 228-5562 or 228-5563. I know Beverly's watching and she's listening very carefully. So does Monica. And they're very sharp on being able to detect when I've dropped some very broad hints. So 228-5562 or 228-5563. What can I fill with empty hands? To you, Anthony Smith in New York, 718, saying good morning to 246. And so 246 to 718, good morning to you as well. Patricia Ben, thank you for getting up as always to keep us company. You have yourself a terrific today. Fantastic Friday morning to you too. Marlene Richards is watching to us on our YouTube stream. Morning, good morning to you. Have a lovely day. Vereen Walker, how are you? She's wishing all of us here at the CBC a beautiful today. We wish the very same to you as well. Vereen, have yourself a great weekend, whatever you choose to do as well. Kieran Olivier is also watching us, and she says good morning to the team and to everyone around the world. We wish you a fantastic Friday as well. Waiting on your call, waiting on your call. What can you fill with empty hands? What can you fill with empty hands? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Now, coming up today, we will meet a man who plies his trade dealing with the head, but he's also into poetry. And so he will share shortly with us one of his own creations known as Boy. Also today, the Small Island Future Festival will remind you of what it is, when it is, where it will be, and why you will be there. All of those answers you will get today for sure, but it's a very, very interesting one indeed. But let's take this call. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm excellent.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Where are you watching from, sir?
Christchurch.
Christchurch. And who's calling?
Ken Farrell.
Ken Farrell of Christchurch. So, Ken, I wish you well. What do you think the answer is?
Your lungs.
My lungs.
Yeah.
What can I fill with
air.
empty hands? My lungs.
Yeah, you can fill your lungs with air. You don't use your hands to do that. You use your nostrils.
Mm-hmm. But I have empty hands. So what can I fill with empty hands? My hands, I'm using my hands to fill. So what can I fill with empty hands?
Your belly.
But with what? My hands are empty.
I know that.
So what can I fill using my hands that are empty? I can fill my belly?
Correct.
No, Ken, you're incorrect. But thank you so much for trying, all right? In other
You're
words,
welcome.
as we say in Barbados, you're wrong. You're dead wrong, as a matter of fact. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Also coming up today, there's a fruit that we all enjoy, the Barbadian nose. Every weekend alone to start with, we consume this fruit. But the tree at this time of year can pose a problem. The Barbados Light and Power Company, they're a best place to advise us as to how to deal with it so it doesn't disrupt our lives entirely, especially during the hurricane season. We get more details on what we can do when the folks from the Barbados Light and Power Company joins me in just a little while. Father's Day, as you know, is Sunday coming. Bless them all, indeed. And so a young father with a 1-year-old will join us. We want to hear from him, his excitement at the news of the birth of his little sweet. And so we'll talk to him a little bit about what it means to be a father. Also, Yannick Hooper, his passion is soca, and he has some new music released for this year, and we'll talk to him a little bit. And we got a chance to hear what he's offering for 2025 as well. And we'll get this morning an update from the St. George Organizing Committee. What can we expect, not just this weekend, but for the rest of the month of St. George, month in June. We have Deborah on the line. I told Deborah, good morning.
Good morning.
How do you do, Deborah?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Where are you watching from?
St. Philip?
Deborah of St. Philip. Where in St. Philip are you?
Well.
Well House.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've driven through Well House just once, I believe, in my life, ever. But it's such a quiet area, do you find?
Yes, it is. Very quiet.
In other words, don't disturb our peace, right?
Exactly.
All right, Deborah, what's the answer?
I believe it's a clap.
A clap.
Yes.
As in one hand can't clap. So therefore, when I bring my hands together, I make sound.
Yeah.
So what do I fill with empty hands?
A clap.
I feel a clap with empty
Or a
hands.
clasp.
Sorry?
A clap or a clasp. Clasping your hand.
I can do that with my hands, but what do I feel with empty hands? In clasping my hands or clapping my hands, what am I feeling?
Space.
Deborah, you're struggling.
Yes,
Deborah,
I am.
you are struggling.
Yes,
But, you know, I like your effort. I like your pluck, but you are dead wrong.
Oh, dear. All right.
That's all right, Deborah. Have a great day, okay?
You too.
Good girl indeed.
Right.
All right. I did tell you about a young man who works in the headspace. Here he is. His name is Jabari. And so Jabari has a new production. It's called Boy. Jabari, take it over.
Boy. In his youth, he's free to do as he please, because boys will be boys. And these, well, these is boys indeed. Not a care in the world. Rolling, crawling, climbing, quick break between two bushes to pee, and it's back to pace. Running, fighting, riding. Hit down hard, and once it ain't no severe injury, all you can hear is, boy, get up and go again. You can cry for that? Boy, don't be no softy. And well, often unknowingly, boy feels. He knows. He has expectations to me. So it's back on his feet. No, it's not just fun and frolics, it's a responsibility to not be weak. See, the cuts and bruises will heal, but any resulting shame may never leave, so boy begins to construct his social identity. Maybe not consciously, but instinctively he understands what a reputation could mean. Time passes and 7 turns to 17. By now he sees the manifestation of hierarchy, how crucial a thing like status could be. Around that age is all that matters really. The identification of who are the wolves versus the sheep, establishing cliques and girls of course, because being the man is all that he dreams. Though that man that he thinks that he's supposed to be is all made up. A mix of traumas and fears, real world examples, social media narratives, all the little seeds planted by, well, just about everybody. Well-watered seeds in time destined to be a bountiful fruit-bearing tree, roots deep. Right now the world's ahead of him, but he doesn't really understand what that means. So you feel like you know it all in your teens when you're yet still quite naive. And as it does, time passes. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. A young adult now, a little less green, once so free, now a man, the builder and molder of society, the protector and provider, the one meant to lead. But the march of time alone does not create maturity. The mere progression of biology couldn't prepare one for such a feat. That kind of man is built by discipline, pain, experience, and grief. Only time will tell, ironically, but for now that's not he. Still a boy at heart, though not as carefree. Still rolling. No, it's just low weed, or rolling deep with the peaks. Said even if he had to crawl, he's gonna climb to the top. Still looking for that quick relief in between, then it's back to pace. Because to be the man, you got to be running things. Fight the fight and hope to find somebody to ride with in these streets. Carrying a subtle responsibility to himself, his friends, and his family. So when the pressures get heavy and he's down, lost, and in need, he doesn't know how to express what he feels. He just does what he knows best. Back up on his feet. None of that vulnerability. Time and time again, he sees this world does not respect the weak. Not the men, at least. That's why he has to become king. Royalty. Ignorant to how heavy a crown can be, he has to become him like his imperial majesty. All he wants is that castle in his dreams. So essentially, growing up was just realizing you want it out in the trees for the peace, you know? Some silk sheets, marble floors, maybe some mint green, a thick queen, and some picnics. You get it. Just refining the passions of that little boy. Because no matter the age, that 7-year-old never really leaves. A man is just the suit of armor he wears to protect what he believes. Armor that grows and changes, adaptable to every need, reliable, dependable. An everyday superhero for everybody. Whether friend, brother, husband, or daddy, that is his creed. If I have food, then mine have to eat. knowing the chances slim that he will ever see some reciprocity. It's his duty. So becoming the most loved and appreciated, conditionally. And for that love and appreciation, he will endure anything to produce the conditions they need. That suit is his new identity, crafted meticulously over decades. Every time he lost a piece of himself, every time he folded, every time he had to hold it together, woven into those sleeves, every cut, stitch, and seam worn proudly, poised powerfully, but often not quite at peace. Forgetting that for Batman to seem invincible, Bruce Wayne has to train, rest, eat, and heal. It's the emotions of little old Bruce Banner that make Hulk big, strong, and mean. No matter who equipped, hard, and shiny, Iron Man is nothing without Tony. To put it plainly, the transformation from boys to men is quite a journey, one that gets steep quickly. And at the end of the road, hoping that you've given and done enough is your only real relief. So many men die inside and live life robotically, void and empty. And it's overlooked as long as they produce and perform. If they don't, their best bet is to be seduced to conform. Otherwise, they just resort to the bottle, the streets, the gun, the rope. Because everybody demands that suit, but the boy inside it is never seen. Thank you.
In the middle.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better...
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
18 and a half after the hour, what you just heard flowed from the mind of Jabari Corbin. Jabari Corbin is a part of the cast of Poetry Barbados, and we're excited to have him here just ahead of Father's Day because somehow he was able to chronicle the growth of the male child to manhood. And Jabari, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning.
I liked one of your quotes where you said, a man is a suit of armor. He's just a suit of armor. But within all of that, he's still that little boy.
Mm-hmm.
That little boy who saw possibility and who just wants to achieve what's possible. Am I interpreting you correctly?
Absolutely, actually. Absolutely. That's basically what the piece is about.
Yeah. So talk to me about the place from which you wrote this piece.
This piece specifically, well, I believe that as being a barber, I have a unique perspective inside the heads and hearts of a lot of men, because a lot of men confide in their barber. You know, you become a man's best friend and therapist of sorts. So very often I have a lot of conversations with men where they express, you know, a lot of the things that they don't feel comfortable enough to share with the people that they are responsible to or that depend on them. And when Poetry had asked me to perform for Men's Mental Health Month under the theme of the power that men wield, I thought that I had to share at least some parts of that unique perspective with the world. So, you know, in writing it, it took me back to a lot of the conversations I had with my clients and stuff who, I mean, are grown adults with children, married families, but they still mention a lot like how their childhood affected the decisions they made today, how it affects, you know, certain aspects of their relationship, being fathers and husbands and that kind of stuff. So I really wanted to like encapsulate that as best as I could in a way that was relatable to all men as well, in a way that like you could hear it and even if the entire piece does not speak to you, certain parts of it have to speak to you, because I also recognize through being a barber that many of us, if not most of us, have almost the same identical journey, just packaged in different ways. So, you know, I wanted something that translated, that connected all those dots. So I hope that it was that it was clearly seen.
I think you did, but I came away also with, do we ever grow up? You know, go ahead.
I mean, we do, because I think the process of growing up is just coming to accept and understand what responsibility is. But many of those, as the poem says, many of those childhood desires that we have just evolve as you get older, but they don't change or go away.
Precisely. So thus, do we ever grow up, or we just adapt to what society throws at us as we go?
That's growing up.
Okay, that's your point of view.
Yes, from my point of view, that is growing up.
And so as you attend to making men look better through your barbering, at the same time you see the ugly, raw ugliness of the struggles of these men.
Yeah, most definitely.
And so in shaping the hair, are you given the opportunity to also shape the life experience and the thinking?
Most definitely.
So what do you say?
Well, that depends on it. That really depends on the situation. But I would say most definitely, I do end up coaching people, and it's interesting being this young and giving older married people advice. Is very interesting. But again, I think that my time in being a barber has given me so much perspective and so much scope that, you know, it still feels that even though I am young, I still have something to offer. I can still help, you know, whatever the situation may be, even if it's just support that a person may need.
So what is it that shapes your view of the world? Because circumstance, you talked about in your poem of the boy as well, circumstances shape how we think and how we respond. What shaped how you think and how you respond?
That's a good one. I mean, apart from my personal life experiences, I could say the situations that I've observed externally, the situations that people have confided in me and helped to share, I think, like, you know, like, you can't help but compile all of your small different experiences into one general worldview. So I would say that barbering definitely has had a tremendous effect on my worldview, along with, because I also work in an all-female space. I remember barber in a salon. So being a man that services men in an all-female space gives me tremendous perspective on the different ways that the different genders are just think and behave and are raised. And I can't pinpoint one thing that has affected my worldview more so than the other, honestly.
There's a combination of all of that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Are you a father?
No, not as yet, but intending to be at some point in time.
Lord, my mind just went somewhere completely different. I won't say it, you know. So with your intention, does your desire to be a father scare you about what it could require?
Most definitely. Oh,
why?
I think a lot of people speak very carelessly about parenting. I think a lot of people think that you just go and have a child and that's it. Having catered to men and having worked in female spaces and that kind of stuff, you see a lot of these small little micro aspects of parenting that, you know, nobody really prepares you for, like how it forces you to face yourself and your own childhood, and you know, like the changes that you would need to make so that you could become the best parent or the best example for somebody you're trying to raise, because you're introducing somebody into society. So it does not just no trivial responsibility. You either introducing a psychopath, somebody that's completely awful into society, or somebody that's going to help society in a positive way. So that's a very, very big responsibility, and one that I'm looking forward to still, even though it is.
I like the way you phrased it. You did it so well indeed. So, Jabari Corbin, this is what you do. You do barbering, but you also deal with helping people's mindsets.
Yes.
Changing not just their physical view, but their mental view as well. And you're doing it so well.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us this morning and inspiring us through your performance of your poem, Boy. I think it caused a lot of our male audience to dig deeper, to listen carefully, but to see themselves in that transition, almost like a cocoon that's opening up and out of which fly this new character taking on that armor of manhood and wearing that little boy's armor beautifully as he grows. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you, man.
Likewise. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 6:27. Welcome back to Mornin Barbados. It is so good to be here with you this morning and to be here with you, Pearson.
Thank you for joining us, Cassandra. It is good to have you accompany me as well. You know, it's been a little while.
Yes.
But it's been, we're still friends.
We still see each other.
We still do.
We definitely do. We engage, we interact, and we see each other out there doing our work.
Socially and otherwise, indeed. And so, Cassandra, good to know that you're with the Barbados Light and Power. I mean, we see your work on the screen. We know what you do, and you're there as Media Communications Advisor. How has it been for you so far?
It's been quite a journey, learning experience, new but certainly an adventure that I am enjoying. Of course, earlier this year, our team took a hit, losing our friend and colleague, team leader, Jackie Marshall-Clark. But she's left a good legacy, and she gave us really excellent leadership while she was with us. But it's an experience.
I'm sure. I know one of those things you talk about, leadership and legacy, is when hurricane season happens, we know that Barbados Light and Power steps up indeed.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what the initiatives you are engaged in for the hurricane season.
Well, this morning specifically, Pearson, while we did our official Atlantic hurricane season for 2025 media launch just yesterday morning, CBC was there. We invited media so they could come and find out all the efforts that we constantly do. Preparation for the hurricane season begins after one ends. We did that. Today specifically, we want to focus on breadfruit trees and safety surrounding breadfruit trees and our infrastructure lines passing through breadfruit trees. We are embarking on a project to manage that, to build awareness and to remind persons who maybe have breadfruit trees for their livelihood or just because it's good to have a breadfruit tree in the yard somewhere. Just remind people of the importance of being safe with them. And while they generally serve a wonderful purpose, they can be dangerous. So we want to build the awareness of where your trees are in relation to where our lines run. So the lead for this project is Dr. Nika Archer. She is our engineering manager, transmission and distribution assets, and she is the team lead on this particular project. Now, last year we spent a lot of time walking through Bridgetown, talking with vendors at Cheapside and the various markets across the island about safe fruit sourcing as they go about doing their business for their livelihoods. But it is important because we have seen situations of contact incidents with the lines, and we have to, you know, take steps that will mitigate against things like that happening less frequently. While Barbados Light and Power does its very best to manage any tree growth, especially or particularly the trees that do not have owners across Barbados, we certainly also want to make a special appeal to those private property owners with breadfruit trees in particular. That's where we've started, so that they understand what they need to do.
How much of a problem is this for the Barbados Light and Power, where you have all of these overgrown trees presenting problems to your power line?
It's a real problem because for us, safety is paramount. Safety is everything, every day, top of the list of everything that we do. If we have even little talk sessions, meetings, we start them with a safety moment. So our customers' safety and keeping our infrastructure, lines, poles as secure as possible, that is what is important to us. Any loss of life is not a good thing, so we're taking steps to mitigate against that. So Dr. Archer can definitely tell you as team lead a lot more about what has been done, and a lot of groundwork has been done already.
Dr. Nika Archer, you have been invoked. So talk to me a little bit about what has been done, what is being done still, and what it is that this project now will require of all of us to do.
So good morning to you, Pearson, Cassandra, and everybody.
Morning.
So I'm going to start up, Pearson. You like breadfruits?
Of course I do. Do you like breadfruits?
At the end of this conversation, do not make me the breadfruit enemy, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let me talk a bit about the program. So we have about 1,000 fruit-bearing trees. So that's like coconuts, breadfruits, mangoes, etc. Coconuts and mangoes, we have had incidents. Mangoes, we had a young boy in Dunlow Lane losing limbs picking mangoes. We had incidents with persons losing limbs with coconuts, and we had fatalities with breadfruit trees. Now, yes, we do extensive tree trimming. We seem to be the tree trimmer of choice for Barbados. That's not we don't want to be the tree trimmer of choice. We want to trim trees away from our power lines. But that's a whole different message on homeowners.
Yes.
So we said, okay, we've had these incidents repeatedly. We need to do something around fruit trees. And added to being the tree trimmer of choice, and also added to that, we also are called to maintain the infrastructure. So tree trimming is just a subset of our duties. Yes, we have contractors to support with tree trimming. So now we decide we need a specialized strategy for these fruit trees. So we have a GIS system, which is a geographical information system. So we have all our trees mapped. We can identify all of our fruit trees. We know all the incidents, near misses, outages we had related to these trees. So then we said, okay, let's inspect these fruit trees with a different eye. And we started with the breadfruit. And unfortunately, we had an incident, a loss of life this year associated with breadfruit. We had already started this project. And we identified around 160 breadfruit trees. Out of these, we did some trimming on 70-something of these trees. In the inspection, we also looked to see if we could speak to some of the owners and see if we could completely remove these breadfruit trees.
Yeah.
Listen to me, bear with me. The reason being is that, yes, I have a three-pronged approach to the breadfruit trees. Two of them are mitigating strategies. One of them, if possible, I'd like to completely remove the breadfruit tree and replace it with a dwarf breadfruit tree. So we have purchased a series of dwarf breadfruit trees. So my number one will be to completely eliminate the strategy. Remember, it's only 160 breadfruits. So that's one. Second one is the trimming. When we come to trim breadfruit trees, you can imagine what happens, right? The landowners stand up, come outside, don't trim that one, don't trim this one, and try to direct us. So by the time we go there, we trim, when the rains come down, what happens to those breadfruit trees again, limbs again? So our next strategy is incorporating a method called crowning. in which we would train the tree, more or less. I'm not a pruning expert.
It's a
what
pruning
it does is a pruning method, and Cassandra could talk about it, but for me, what it does is stop the trees from growing up in the air and cause them to grow wider.
Oh.
And according to the experts, you will get most of the fruits grow around the perimeter of the tree, so it wouldn't impact on the amount of breadfruit trees. So coming back to why I don't want to be known as the breadfruit tree enemy. Number one would be, when we come around, we want to engage you and entice you to completely remove the breadfruit tree, but we're going to replace it with a dwarf tree.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one is that we want to do a different method of trimming around it.
Correct.
So that's kind of the appeal we are making now.
Right.
And just remember, it's to protect lives.
Yes, not just the lives of those who own those trees, but your workers as well, who are equally important in this relationship. And so, Cassandra, then from the mapping out, because now you know where those problem trees are, we're not the breadfruit haters, in terms of being able now to assist and roll out this campaign to replace, once you remove them from where they are, how's that going and how is that going to work?
So it's going to take place over the next 18 months. And as you heard Dr. Archer said, we've inspected at least 160 breadfruit trees so far. And we're starting with breadfruit trees, but we're aware of other fruit trees that can become problems. Sometimes people are legitimately trying to get fruit from these trees. Sometimes people are not trying to get fruit from these trees legitimately, and they're using tools in the trees that are full conductors of electricity, so that is not safe. So what is going to happen is our teams, as you heard, we have a mapping system through our GIS, which is part of our T&D assets department, and they're going to go to each of these locations. We'll be speaking one-on-one with the specific customers and just helping them understand that it really is for the safety of individuals and trying to preserve life so that we don't have situations, or we try to reduce the incidence of contact with lines that could lead to death. So that is what we want. And this conversation is really to let people know that we will be coming around and we will be talking to those private fruit tree owners. And we really want people to remember that this is about safety. This is about making sure, yes, we're still going to encourage the food security because we understand the importance of that. Hence, we are replacing those trees with dwarfed fruit trees and enlisting the assistance of the experts who understand how to prune these trees so that they don't keep growing upward, but they go wider and you're still getting your fruit. So we really are asking and hoping for that cooperation from those customers that we go to.
You hit it right on the head when I was just going to come to that, because we want to encourage our viewers who are also customers who have trees, and because you're customers of the Light and Power, people with uniforms, people with badges will come engage with you as well, and they will bring the replacement tree. Over 18 months, so I could well imagine someone watching right now saying, I want to get ahead of everybody. I want to make sure they come to me first. But to rewind them, be patient. You will come to all.
We will be doing the reaching out. We will make the contact with you, and we will, of course, have the necessary conversations and share all these explanations and just remind you that it is an important thing. We don't like to hear of anyone dying, no matter the reason they may have been going into the fruit tree. We want to make sure people understand that if fruit trees are interesting, they're there, they're beautiful, they can help us, but if there's a power line running through, that voltage is nothing to play with. And Dr. Archer could also share with you on that, but we want you to understand that you need to be away from it. If you have a tree on your property, it is really, really first and foremost your priority to control and manage that tree and not necessarily watch it grow into the power lines and then say, Barbados Light and Power ought to come deal with it. We want you to manage it. Let us take care of the trees specifically that really don't have owners that might be affecting the lines. And we have done extensive vegetation management in that regard as well. If you look along Seaview, the Portville Road, Arch Hall, across Barbados, we've been doing our best to make sure that those lines are clear. But this fruit tree project is critical.
This is so good to hear. Time is against us.
Yes,
but you know,
always.
It is good to know that the Barbados Light and Power Company are partners with us in all of this. They are not tree trimmers. That's not their profession. But because they understand safety, they are working with us to be able to provide us with the best possible outcomes, where they remove those trees that are creating a problem to the power lines, but still give you a replacement tree, the same tree that you like, the same breadfruit you love, so that you can still enjoy your favorite fruit and ply your trade from the fruit thereof. And so we want to encourage you to open your doors and open yourselves to welcoming the team from the Barbados Light and Power Company over the next 18 months or so when they engage with you, because it is to your benefit and to the country's benefit. None of us, all of us hate when the current goes off, as we say. The current
We
going
don't
off.
like it either.
Can't stand
We don't like it. But rest assured, it's to keep you safe if it's off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point. So let's avoid those outages simply by just complying and working with the Barbados Light and Power Company who are working with you. Cassandra Crawford, thank you. Good to see you
pleasure.
again. I'll let you take us out of the break in a minute. Dr. Nika Archer, thank you as well for sharing with us the project and for reassuring us as to its success, its purpose, and how it will work, and to be there to hold our hands as you process with this whole change across the landscape of Barbados. Thank you so much, Dr. Archer, as well.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome, Cassandra.
All right, Pearson, it's been a pleasure. And for you, just letting you know, it's 19 away from the hour of 7 o'clock. We'll take a break, but Morning Barbados will continue after that.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
What a beautiful Friday morning it is here in our beloved island of Barbados. Welcome again to the Small Island Future Fest for 2019.
That's just a glimpse back to 2019 of what is the energy, the involvement, the inclusivity, the passion behind the Small Island Future Festival. And so in 2025, they're back, baby. And they're back for next weekend, as a matter of fact. And I'll tell you today, you will find out why you should be there. Joining me right now as we share with you a whole lot more on this is Dr. David Bino, who is the National Coordinator of the Global Environment Facilities Small Grants Program with the United National UNDP. United Nations UNDP. You hear them laughing at me already? Ashley Lashley, we know her as the power behind the Ashley Lashley Foundation, but she too has been pretty critical in the development of this Future Festival. And across from me is John Hunt, who's the Secretary of the Organic Growers and Consumers Association. To all of you, good morning.
Good morning.
We are days away.
That's it.
David, how's it looking getting ready for this?
It's looking really good.
Yeah?
It's looking bright. You have to be there, Pearson, and the public of Barbados, definitely they have to be there. Because we're talking about the Small Island Future Fest 2025, and it's going to be amazing. The theme is Small Islands, Big Future.
Yes.
And we know just last year, we had the Antigua and Barbuda agenda for SIDS. And really and truly, Barbados blazes the trail all over the world. Our government, our Prime Minister has been doing an excellent job in terms of pushing sustainable development. And this really shows that Barbados is leading again with the Small Island Future Fest, the premier event, not only in the Caribbean, but the world, as it relates to sustainability in small island developing states.
So when we come to the Future Festival next weekend, Friday and Saturday, are we getting the opportunity to see the latest in that response to our vulnerability as a small island?
Yeah, we're going to be able to not only see, touch, feel, taste. Total experience. Because we want an immersive experience, and we want people to leave feeling as though they have been touched by it, and they're able to then take action. So we're not going to be just talking about it. They're going to see it, they're going to touch it, they're going to feel it, they're going to taste it. And therefore, we have a sustainable energy zone. You can see things from renewable energy, the latest in terms of electric cars. You're going to have experts in the area being able to talk with you and dialogue with you. You're also going to have a blue zone. The fisheries division, they're going to be heavily involved. You may even see a real boat there that you can get into. we're taking all the steps. So when you come there, you're going to be blown away. We have not only the experience of the blue zone and also the sustainable energy zone, but it's an agri zone, because when you speak about the green economy, agriculture is an integral part of it, and therefore we're going to see the circular economy played out through agriculture. Ministry of Agriculture is a bigger partner. We have the Ministry of Environment on board. We have the Ministry of Health. We have so many partners. The Inter-American Development Bank is there, thanks to our new resident coordinator, Simon Springett. We have several UN agencies that are going to be present on the ground. World Food Program. We have the United Nations Development Program, of course. In addition to that, we're going to see participation from UN Women and the RC's office, which is responsible for 25 UN agencies within the Caribbean. So if you're interested in learning about sustainable development, or you're thinking about a career at the UN, making a difference in this world, it's even a good opportunity to come and speak to some of the professionals there, including me. I'll be there as well.
David is always there, so David will be there for sure. Actually, you know, and you're tackling this from the three zones, the blue, green, and the orange economies, the different economies as we know it, but it's a family event. And sometimes you just want to be up close, but in being up close, you want to see how I can apply it. Are there going to be real lived examples of how item A can really be integrated into my natural living, so that I see how I can actually get involved in being able to help with this sustainability?
Yeah, definitely, Pearson. I think one of the key components in the overall conceptualization of SIF is that we wanted to make sustainability more real for persons, knowing that the academic jargons for sustainability, climate action might go way beyond persons' heads. But what we have recognized is that when we're talking about our overall environment, each and every one of us have a major role to play. So we talked about how can we break down sustainability in a fun way that persons, families can come and really get a full experience, but while still having fun at the same time. So on the day, we'll be having different workshops DIY do-it-yourself, like how to turn a t-shirt into a tote bag instead of using the plastic bags going to the supermarket. There's also going to be food demonstrations as well, bringing in the agriculture perspective. Chef Adrian Cumberbatch will be present. The evening times, we have concerts on the Friday and Saturday. There's jazz on the Friday with Zukili, Innes and Friends. On Saturday, we have Soca headlining with Mikey, Lead Piper and Sadis, Mole, TC. More artists will be performing at the Soca night, but we also brought in a few mixologists as well who can take drought-resistant crops and make it into a cocktail. So we'll be doing like free cocktail samples between 6 and 7 on each. Your eyes are sparkling because I know you're excited. Each night, but throughout the day, we are really making sustainability fun. We'll also have the Barbados Defence Force Field Medical Unit present as well, who will be doing free health checks within the Ministry of Health Zone, which is called the Health Zone. They will be having multiple booths present where you'll be learning about environmental health and how that looks with mosquito breeding, etc. So it'll be fun activities for persons to participate in. We even engage, I don't know if you saw recently on social media, there's these guys that goes into their gym clothes and have persons doing pull-ups. So we'll be having the pull-up challenge at SIF as well. There's a kids zone that would have rides, lots of rides, toys, and a kids reading corner to also learn about sustainability. So throughout the 3 days here, well, 2 days here, me 5, and I can want more days, Dr. Barbados. No.
It's the Friday and the Saturday next week. Friday and Saturday next week. So that's interesting. And from the Growers Association, talk to me a little bit about what you're going to be presenting.
Well, what we're trying to do is to offer a sample of a circular economy, what a circular economy could look like as a grassroots level, which is what most people actually have as an informal economy. So we're having some displays and examples of recycling, taking raw materials and making them into usable materials. So we have composting, we have people there selling compost, selling charcoal, things that we might throw away otherwise, and bringing it right around the circle back to holistic health. So we'll have, part of it is going to be social development in the sense of how we can give back to society as well. So we're going to use beekeepers, so you can come and buy honey, you can come and buy fruit trees, you can come and sample like things like parsley shakes, like our green parsley. We'll make a lovely shake out of that so people can taste that and show you how you can bring the economy from intentional thought of changing what you're doing now into something that can add value all the way around the chain of the economy. So that's what the Organic Growers Group is trying to offer.
And all of this happening in just 2 days? Wow. It's a lot, but it's a great reason to come.
And it's free.
And it's free. That's it. And it's free. It's under the big tent, the graduation tent at the UWI, right?
It's bigger than that.
It's bigger than that?
It's bigger than that. We have the tent there, but we have other zones outside of the tent as well.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah, so it's an opportunity to come in a safe space and really enjoy yourself, not only as an individual, but bring the entire family. Because there's something for everyone. There's a kids zone as well. So there's no real reason not to be there. I know sometimes when Barbadians hear it's free, they think it's substandard. But no, the best things in life are free, and SIF, that's one of these things.
Indeed, and you just saw as we began the video of what happens in there. You know, it's all free, but it's really, really top notch, and it's good. And it's every reason why you have to be there. Each day you start at what time?
9 a.m. and finish at 8 p.m. So
the whole day?
Whole day full of activities, lots of giveaways, product sampling. There's so much throughout the days, but the concert starts at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. each day.
So next week Friday, next week Saturday, spend the whole day, each day indeed at the UWI, all around. We're taking over the space. It's a small island, but oh boy, there's a big future indeed. And so that's what we're talking about when you come to SIF, Small Island Future Festival. You get to see a glimpse into the future. You get to see the glimpse into a sustainable future as well, built on you and all the things that you do and interact with. And so if you want those ideas, if you want to know what the latest products are, if you want to taste and literally see what's possible as well, you need to attend the Small Island Future Festival on the grounds of the UWI, 20th and 21st. 9 o'clock in the morning each day, right there at the KFL campus. Bring out your family. It's absolutely free. It's a big event not to be missed today. So to each of you, I say thank you.
Thank you.
I'm out of time. But David, as always, good to have you.
Always a pleasure.
And I know you're going to be there. Are you doing anything special? I know Fred is a little different for you.
Well, I'm going to do the opening, and also we're gonna have both there, UNDP and the UN. We're gonna have a UN village. So come out and see it.
A UN village.
But we hoping you do the pull-up challenge too.
Yes, challenge her. I let that challenge her too.
Next time we're gonna have you the ambassador. We need to have one of the ambassadors for sure.
Yes, actually we're challenging you to do the pull-up challenge as well. Yes, you can handle it. But great work from all of you. And of course, John's fit as a fiddle. No, John can handle it and more. Indeed, John Hunter from the Organic Growers and Consumers Association, growing things organically without the use of chemicals. And so that's important indeed as we build ourselves and build our community together. Each of you, thank you very much.
Thank you, Percy.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
2.5 minutes now to go to the top of the hour. That riddle is still outstanding, waiting on you to solve it. The question is, time for you to give me a call again, 228-5562 or 228-5563. The question is, what can you fill with empty hands? What can you fill with empty hands? That's the question. I'm waiting on your answer. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What can you fill with empty hands? I know you're trying to work your brain out and say, is it possible at all? It is possible. Everything is possible. So what can you fill with empty hands? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Maybe the thing you're thinking about is the answer. So don't hold back and think, nah, that doesn't sound right. It possibly is the answer. But you need to call me and let me know so I can correct you. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What is it that you think we can fill with empty hands? And when you hear the answer, you're going to laugh. I'm telling you, you're going to laugh because it is as obvious as that. What can you fill with empty hands? That's the question. 228-5562 or 228-5563. It's not your stomach. It is not your lungs. It is not clasping or clapping. But what is it? What can you fill with empty hands? And those are some of the answers we got already for the morning. But I'm waiting on your answer right now. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Is it that hard? Is it really, really that hard? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, Pearson.
Hi, sweet Rons. How are you?
I'm going good.
Good, good. I'm ready for you, girl. I'm ready for you. What's the answer?
I'm ready for you, too.
I dare you. What's the answer?
Nothing. If you got empty hands, so you can fill something with empty hands.
But you can fill something with empty hands, Rons.
How can you do it? If your hand's empty, how can you fill it? How can you fill something? Your hand's empty.
When you hear the answer, you will see that you can fill something with empty hands. In other words, sweet Rons, you are dead wrong this Friday morning.
I tell you, all right, then you have a fantastic
But girl, you too have a fantastic one indeed. Still on the table, still to be answered. It is all up to you indeed. What can you fill with empty hands? That is a question lingering somewhere out there. Take your time, take a deep breath. See if you figure that answer out. And when you think you have, then you give me a call. Of course, I'll interrupt whatever I'm doing to take your call. So don't dilly-dally, don't hold back. Give us a call. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's take a look at the news now. Wiretapping and lie detector testing are among the new measures government intends to introduce as it ramps up its response to rising crime. Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley made that revelation as she expressed being absolutely horrified and upset about recent crimes against seniors in particular. Here's Crystal Hoyt with that story.
Tisha, Prime Minister Motley said she felt it was time to address the nation and provide an update on the country's crime-fighting efforts. With that in mind, she indicated that Barbados is well on its way to introducing legislation that allows for wireless communication to be intercepted and used in the law courts.
We would have spoken previously to you that a consultative process on wireless intercept legislation and being able to use the intercepts as evidence in a law court, and indeed that draft was passed to the Advisory Council on Citizenship Security, and it has now to go to the full council, and once that is received by us through the Office of the Attorney General, the Cabinet and the Parliament will take the necessary steps to introduce that legislation, conscious that in many instances intel is available, but if you can't use that intel as evidence, there is then a lacuna, a break between what you can carry to court and what you know.
Prime Minister Motley says this can no longer obtain. She also shared that government is now at an execution stage as it relates to a truth verification process, more commonly known as lie detector testing. According to her, equipment has been purchased and training provided. Additionally, the Attorney General will be meeting with trade unions as the administration presses ahead with this measure.
The truth verification testing is not focusing on any category of worker, it's focusing on persons who have access to certain secure spaces. And if you have access to certain secure spaces, then we need to ensure that you are acting with the integrity that we need you to act with, such that the rest of the society is not put at risk. The truth verification testing, therefore, is a fancy set of words effectively for what? A lie detector test? A lie detector test. And therefore, it will be subjecting both public and private sector persons. We accept that persons cannot be forced in certain circumstances to do it, and therefore, if they can't work, they won't have access to those areas and may have to be placed in other jobs. But the AG will continue those discussions.
The Prime Minister also responded to online comments regarding tint regulation.
My car will have and be subject to the same tint regulations as anybody. So I don't want any exemption for my car and my office as Prime Minister. And if outside hot, I can be hot with you. And if it ain't hot, I can be cool with you. But what I'm not going to do is ask Bajans to do something that I am not prepared to do myself.
Prime Minister Motley reminded that the Barbados Police Service specifically asked for this measure to be implemented.
We're not asking for you to remove all tint, but we're asking for you to regulate the tint. If that particular officer or officers have to approach a car, it is all black tint. They don't know what they're facing. They don't know whether they're underreacting, overreacting, whether their life is in their hand, whether they will be standing. That is the reality of what we are facing. And while I would like to be able to say that we can not cause everybody an inconvenience, when I put the inconvenience to the individual in the scales against the risk to the life of the handful of people who we have protecting us every day and every night, I don't need to tell you where the scales are landing.
Tisha, those are some of the major announcements coming out of today's press conference with Prime Minister Motley.
Crystal, thank you. As you can tell, I am not Tisha. Well, a call for lawyers to pay higher bar fees is coming from Attorney General Dale Marshall. He says it's necessary to equip the Bar Association with the finances to pay for changes that must be made to meet the evolving dynamics of the legal profession. The Attorney General made his position clear on the issue while addressing the opening ceremony of the Law Reform Commission's two-day symposium on the Draft Legal Professions Bill 2025. This is Anesta Henry with a report.
Some of the new initiatives outlined in the draft legal profession bill will require careful planning, recruitment of personnel, and the provision of adequate funding to ensure smooth implementation. Attorney General Dale Marshall is suggesting the Barbados Bar Association consider making the step to raise its fees to foot the cost of implementing the new initiatives.
I am minded to tell you that bar fees have gone unchanged for decades, and young attorneys will pay $300 and silks, whether you consider yourself KC, SC or what. Silks only pay $1,500. And speaking as a part of the executive, it will be difficult for us to ask the taxpayers to carry the administrative burden for these things that your professional organization is going to have to grapple with. The time has come perhaps when you need to consider increasing the fees. It is difficult to see. For those who do personal injury matters, just work out the inflation table of what $1,500 was 50 years ago and see what it is worth today.
And the Attorney General is making it clear that the new initiatives are vital for the bar to be able to serve its constituents going forward.
I have to tell you, while I'm prepared to make a case to the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance for some additional support, the bar is really going to have to look seriously at increasing its fees from its members so as to be able to carry those additional costs.
Chairman of the Law Reform Commission, Sir David Simmons, says from reading the bill, it calls for a substantial increase in the administrative and regulatory obligations of the bar. He says these relate to new rules for accounting, continuing legal professional development, advertising, and contingency fees.
Secondly, the accreditation committee will require funding and training. And thirdly, the Bar Council has drawn attention to the likelihood of an adverse financial impact of the new requirements on legal practitioners of 5 or less years COA.
Professional legal companies, accounts, the power of the Bar Council to protect client property, legal education and continuous professional development, discipline, and a professional indemnity insurance and compensation fund will be discussed during the symposium. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Well, classes were interrupted at the Frederick Smith Secondary School yesterday after teachers there walked off the job following a female teacher being struck behind the head with a rock thrown by a student. The teacher who sought medical attention reported the matter to the police. The president of the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, Mary Ann Redmond, visited the school along with members of the Barbados Union of Teachers and said it's a second incident involving student-on-teacher violence in the space of weeks. She says another teacher was struck with a bottle, particles of which entered her eye, and she is still receiving treatment. Redmond told CBC News the educators are fed up with the concerning levels of student-on-teacher violence at that institution.
I instructed her to ensure that she also reported the matter to the police station and insist that the student be charged, because we are telling all of our members that anytime they are the victims of student-on-teacher violence, they are to report the matter to the police and insist that the police press charges. They also feel that, as we have said for many years now, that parents have to be held accountable for the actions of their children in circumstances just as these.
Well, that's our news until now. More news coming up at 12 noon on CBC TV8. Morning Barbados takes a break. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
12 minutes now after 7 o'clock on Morning Barbados. This is Friday morning, the Friday before Father's Day. And so the men's program, they're here to talk to us a little bit about what they're also doing to, as we started the show, talking about boys and transition from boyhood to manhood and how it means to wear the armor of what we call a man, and what it looks like and feels like and is. And so that's why they're embarked on this program to talk a little bit about how we can transition boys well, I believe, and that's what it is. Fabian Sargent, who leads men's, is with me. He's brought along Sean Springer, who thinks himself a genius already. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning.
So the question is, you hold your thought for a minute.
Sure.
Fabian, what can you fill with empty hands?
Pearson, I am horrible at these things. Don't even ask me. If you want to be most embarrassing moment,
it's asking one of those questions.
Yeah, not me. Wrong person.
No problem. He copped out, in other words. Sean,
yes,
what's your
please.
answer?
Gloves.
Why would you say gloves?
I mean, I worked with gloves for quite a long time. So with empty hands, the only thing you can really fill is a glove.
You've never filled anything else with empty hands?
Never tried.
That is the problem, don't you think?
Yeah. Not
Because you've never
necessarily.
tried.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I'm wrong.
It doesn't mean you're right?
Well, we'll see.
You're right.
Of course I'm right.
He's absolutely right. So that's gone through the window now. Gloves is the answer for those of you who still trying to figure it out. Gloves is the answer. What can you fill with empty hands? Gloves, Fabian.
Yes, thank you.
Makes sense,
Thank
right?
you, Sean.
Makes
sense.
sense.
Makes sense.
Indeed. You're embarked on this program that looks at helping young men. What's it called and what's it about?
Okay, so Bridge to the World came about in my mind, I guess last year. I attended a research symposium, and the research really startled me when I found out that 15-year-old boys were the main boys being put out of school, being suspended and expelled from school in Barbados. It also highlighted to me that a lot of our prison population were boys who were suspended and expelled. Now, at 15 years old, when you are suspended or expelled from school, you're unable to get into any of the post-secondary institutions, SJPI, BCC, whatever. What do you do with these boys then? They stay home. The devil is finding work for idle hands, as we say. Mm-hmm. They end up in drugs, guns, and then we end up in a crime situation like what we have today. When we look at a lot of these statistics in terms of the murders and so forth, there are a lot of boys between 16 and 19 years old. So we thought it necessary to come up with this program to help these young men between 15 and 20 years old to bridge the gap between where they're at and the professional world. And that program is called Bridge to the World because we don't just want to see at a local level. We're operating in a contemporary environment where the internet pretty much connects everyone across the world. And we're trying to get these boys to see themselves in a professional way and not feel lost because they would have been expelled or put out of school. And we're really trying to help families and the society as we grapple with this crime situation that we speak about every single day.
A bridge for me is a connector from one point to the next over troubled waters, so to speak. And so, but my destination is what's going to propel me to take that walk across that bridge. If I understand my destination, if I understand what is at the other end of the bridge, I'm more likely to take the bridge than not. And so I believe this is what you're also seeking to attempt to show the boys what's possible.
Correct.
Rather than feeling lost, forgotten in dire situations, here's what's possible. The bridge is almost like a rainbow. You see how it's constructed? Yeah. It's almost like an arc. Like a rainbow that leads you to the promise of something positive at the end of it. So knowing what that looks like now, what does the program look like to take the boys across the bridge, Sean?
So in agreement with what you just said, one of the core things that we're looking at is helping these boys to recognize and define purpose. You know, in a lot of cases, even at the beginning of this program, you're asking the guys, so what do you want to be 5 years down the road? And a lot of them don't know. So if you're talking about crossing that bridge and you're talking about a destination, it helps if you know where you're going. So one of the first things we're looking to do is help the boys define purpose. We're also looking at 5 main goals, and that would include things like personal development. So even though we're talking about career development, and we're also looking at maybe helping some of these boys to become entrepreneurs, we're also looking at personal development. We're looking at teaching employability skills. How do you manage an interview? When you go to an interview, how do you dress? How do you present yourself? So we have some fairly strict rules as it relates to even how they come to sessions. So we encourage them to wear long pants, wear enclosing shoes. So we're doing the groups, yes, we're doing the classes and everything, but we're preparing them. So one of the challenges that we have with the guys that love to eat, so we encourage them not to eat during sessions. You have the break, eat during the break, the use of the cell phones. So we're teaching all of these things. We have also made provision for counseling, because at the end of the day, we recognize that we're looking at shaping the entire person. So some of these boys come into these sessions with challenges. Some of these challenges may be financial. Some of them may have issues at home and so on. So a big section is made, preparation is made for counseling, is made for counseling. We have group counseling, and we also have space for individual counseling, because we don't want that when we prepare a person academically and then they come to your organization to get a job, they don't have any people skills. Conflict management is another thing looking at, communication. All of these things that we're looking to help persons then, to give persons the tools to cross this bridge from where they're currently at to know where we believe that they have the potential to be.
So you're painting the picture. The whole young man is what you're tackling here. Are you going to, or are they coming to you to benefit from these sessions, Fabian?
So sessions are held at the YMCA, and our purpose here today is really to get some more, but we have space for about 5 to 10 more boys. And we would like persons who may have a youngster in their space, in their home, in their community, who doesn't have anything to do when the day come. You know, contact us, 850-6367, or
you always call this number so fast.
850-MENS, or 850-6367, or you can visit our social media platforms. On Instagram, it is MENS, MENS_246. On Facebook, it is Men Empowerment Network Support. And we have a few more spaces left, and this is a fantastic program that we wouldn't really want to, you know, have gone and don't maximize on the opportunity. I really would like to thank the Ministry of People's Empowerment for their support, you know, and the YMCA, who has partnered with us definitely to provide the space, and all the other facilitators. One of the big parts of this program that I really like is the preparing them for literacy. I've found that boys have a big issue with literacy. And we have an academic program, a program for academic development. You know, Chantal Morgan, literacy specialist, she is the person who facilitates that program, that part of the program, where we bring these boys who may have challenges with writing letters or reports, things that you need in the everyday workspace. And we are preparing these boys for the world of work, you know. So we really want persons to reach out. You know, we also need support. Oftentimes these boys come to the program, some of them, they don't have breakfast. And to feed them every single day for the next 3 months is a very costly venture. If you don't put gas in the tank, the car can't move.
True.
You know, and we have a lot of boys in our programs who don't have lunch, who don't have breakfast, and we have to provide that. So if there's anyone out there who's willing to even contribute refreshments, assist in that area, we are willing to take that, because we have to ensure these boys have the nutrients, they eat well, and we pour into them. You know, so yeah, just reach out.
We see the anger in our young people and we want to do something about it. Men's Empowerment Network is doing something about it. You have a teenager who you see tottering on the edge and you believe that you need some help. Men's Empowerment can help you indeed. And so we want you to take this opportunity right now, men's_246.
Yeah, men's_246
right,
on Instagram.
Right.
And
And
the numbers.
Men's Empowerment Network on the other social media. Search and come to the YMCA and you will see that it can do your child good. Or youngster, if you think you are feeling lost, forlorn, you just need an escape, but you want somewhere to go that's positive, take the bridge across the YMCA and let the Men's Empowerment Network help you. They are capable and able to help you turn your life around and see when you walk that way instead, you're heading into positivity indeed. And so this is an opportunity for you indeed. I want to thank you, gentlemen. We're out of time, but thank you so very much.
Thank you as well.
I know, Sean. Yeah, right. Time goes so quickly. That happens when you're having fun.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm glad you had some fun with us this morning.
Hopefully we can come back again to
and
speak
happy Father's
about
Day. Your father?
initiative. Of course.
I know he is.
Yes.
Because I introduced him to a song called The Day. It has never left his mind ever since. Indeed,
Well,
It's true.
check it out as well.
It is true.
The day that you heard you were a father, how was it for you, Sean?
That was so long ago, I can't even remember. It was a shock for me, to be honest. Fatherhood is not, it wasn't something that was planned, but definitely something that I had to embrace. And actually, now you mentioned fathers, we actually have an initiative coming up on the 29th.
We got time. We'll talk about that another time.
Yes.
So, now that you got over the shock and you've enjoyed the journey ever since.
Of course. So my last is 21.
So he's enjoyed the journey ever since.
Definitely.
Fabian, are you still enjoying the journey?
Of course, I love fatherhood. Listen, it's amazing seeing the smiles on my children's face every single day.
Nice.
You know, and I enjoy watching them grow and develop. You know, and my last son, you know, he's playing the piano.
Sweet.
You know,
sweet.
So
in other words, he's
that.
following his father's footsteps. Thank you so much, and a happy Father's Day, both of you.
Well, thank you.
You're very
Thank you
welcome. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It is World Blood Donor Day under the theme, Give Blood, Give Hope, Together We Save Lives. And so giving blood is perhaps one of the simplest, most impactful ways to save a life. Blood donor drives are on this week, and you can go to the blood collecting center at Lady Mead Gardens in St. Michael, Monday to Friday until about 3:15, and on Saturday tomorrow you can go as well from 8 in the morning until 12 noon to give blood. It's a theme that reminds us that when someone is critically ill, hope becomes everything. Blood becomes equally important. So we want you to get out there and be a part of the blood drive on this week. Go to the National Blood Collecting Center at Lady Mead or to any other place and give your blood. Monday to Friday, 8 till 3:15, Saturdays, 8 till 12 noon. But there's a man who continues to do so, and he is very, very proud to donate of his blood to saving the life of others. Take a look at his story.
'80, '81, and I've been a consistent donor over those years. I celebrated giving 100 units in 2016. By that, I passed my university lecturer, Dr. Meek, and I just keep going. I will stop when Wendy tells me stop, or when I hit the age of, I think it's 70. But it's something I try to do every 3 months. It's just a 45-minute appointment every 3 months to come and give. So hopefully around June 14th, World Blood Donors Day, I'll be back again to give for that day, unless we have too many other people coming to give. It goes back to the very first time we gave blood to Laura 6 at college. There was an accident involving one of our students, and the headmaster asked for 18-year-olds who were willing to go. So we left, we came over because we were able to miss some classes. And when I came, the experience was not as scary as we thought it was going to be. And we kept giving since then, and we recognized that by this simple action, you are helping so many other people that you don't know. And you feel good that you're helping strangers. And it's a good feeling. And it doesn't take anything out of you or your day to come and donate a unit of blood. There's some people who give platelets. We have a cadre of donors who give to the blood collecting center regularly. Those are our voluntary donors, but then there are a lot we call replacement donors, where if someone is ill, a family member will come to give for them. So what the goal is to encourage more regular donors, so we don't put pressure on families for replacement donors to come and give, because we always...
There we go. You heard it from a man who willingly gives of his blood to help others as well. Remember, the drive is on as we speak until 3:15, 8 o'clock till 3:15 at the Lady Mead, and on Saturdays from 8 until 12 noon. Give blood, give hope. Together we save lives. Together we save lives indeed. So as we continue now, we're going to meet a man, a young man, as a matter of fact, who has a young family. Because I know him so well, he works with me. I was so excited when I heard that Demar has a baby. I know he didn't give birth, but he helped to give conception. And so Demar Eastman joins me now. Demar, good morning.
That's a good morning, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I like that. That's a good morning, sir. That's the nature of this gentleman who's sitting across from me. How old is your little one now?
1 year, 4 months.
1 year, 4. You're still counting the days, right?
Yes,
1
please.
year, 4 months. Why is it important for you to track the days and to give them number?
Because like every day counts, because based on like you just don't want to miss a moment. It goes by so fast. Like when he turns 6 months, like they can believe like, whoa, 6 months gone already. Then a year. Yeah. And they pass that year step, then on to another step. So I just don't want to miss the time at all.
Talk to me a little bit about the day you knew you were becoming a father. When the news was told to you, I'm pregnant. What went through you?
Well, it was just feeling the joy, but before dream was my stepson Taj, so I guess it was in the preparation process for being a stepdad first. God was preparing me in terms of patience and just preparing me for fatherhood to come, because dreaming, dealing in your born is different than dealing with a 10-year-old. So basically God was preparing me for like the things to come. So like with Taj, if I could just go back a little bit, it wasn't an easy process, whereas the transitioning from not being married into being a stepdad, it wasn't really a smooth transition. It was a really rocky road, because in terms of like trying to understand, like to help him like the school work and to do certain stuff, it was a lot of task. But God like encouraged me to let's stay the course, because He placed me there for a reason. So let's just stay the course, and it was so joyous to see like my heart, because he came from a place where I was not doing school work. So I had to come out to help him to progress into doing school work. So because
and you've seen his change.
So I come from averaging like 30s.
Yeah.
And then like when he come on, the results come back to high 70s.
Wow.
That give me a feeling of like, whoa.
And it just shows you what you can do.
Yeah, I can't give up.
And now you have your own.
Correct.
You have your own.
Yeah,
Were you there for the birth?
From the get-go, straight through.
Right through.
Delivery, when he come out, the blood, everything. She the whole thing for the like the beer day for my wife joined because she had a long process of dilating. So it was like 7 or so hours. I was just holding her hand, telling her to breathe, any contractions coming on, encouraging her to breathe, like just breathe in, breathe out, breathe to your mouth.
Right. And did you at that point say, Lord, what have I done? What have I done to this woman? Did you ask yourself that?
I felt pain, like, give me a more, like, how to say, a more, like, respect for women.
Yeah.
To see what God go through. Like, we just be there for that little period of time, but when I got travailed to that serious time of birth, it was a serious time. She was crying, and I was just trying to encourage. All I could do was encourage her, my words, but my words probably mean at that time.
Yeah.
The pain was severe.
And you wish you could take that pain away.
Not really,
but the anxiety then of seeing the head crown and out pop, Lord forgive me, this baby that is now not someone else's baby, but your baby.
It was a little fear because, I just said, the birth wasn't the easiest, but it was a little fear. But when it finally came out, and he said, like, the doctor hold the rest is red baby and said he hand and show me, like, whoa.
You cried?
Yeah, it gave me a little sense of, like, relief and then still, like, joy.
Yeah. And thank God it had all fingers, all toes, and was breathing and crying and everything.
His eyes were open for the mirth. The minute he opened, his eyes were open. Because my wife was still, like, she was still
a little drowsy.
So I get the first opportunity to hold it.
But you touch it flesh to flesh. Tell me, how did that feel?
No, not flesh. I had it because they had to carry because of the suction. They had to carry to
do the cleanup and stuff.
So when they hold it, like, and they let down, I was like, whoa. I could see results in me, like, whoa.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a joy.
This is yours. Yeah. Does it scare you now with having responsibility for a tinier child, you know, and managing this?
The reality only kicked in, like, to be honest with you, the reality only really kicked in, like, the first night my wife went back to work, this was like 3 months after, because she was to work at night. So that was my first time I had to, like, keep the baby, like, during the night. The reality only kicking in at night when I tell myself, well, you know, the first beginning, the baby's cling to mommy, baby, but the first reality, you know, it gotta get it now if your baby cry, I just gotta get it, I just gotta change the pamper, I just gotta make the milk. The responsibility on me for that point, so like, the reality really kicking in that time was, so it was like, whoa, ain't backing up now.
How did you deal with it?
Well, lucky for me, I dream sleep through the entire night. My wife can believe it. She called me about 10 times a morning during the night. You still sleeping? You good? You sure you good? You change your pamper? Like, so like, that night he sleep entirely through the night, and that was a joy. And then when you wake in the morning, the first thing in the morning, like, and he holding my arms, like, whoa. Usually, he was, like, I had nieces and nephews with it, got to your mother, but that time they ain't not going back.
No, there's no going back.
You might know it's my responsibility, no choice.
But you accept your responsibility willingly.
Yes, please.
Does he utter any words, making any sounds that you want to hear, like dada?
Well, before when he was young, he just said dada first, like first words. Like tease my wife, he said dada first, but now he's more call me ba. Like, ba. He's calling mama. He's calling mommy more than clear than ba. So he's calling me ba.
That's all right.
So
that's your name. That's the name he has for you. And so you're watching him grow, 1 year, 4 months old. And what do you dream for him?
Well, to whatever God calls him to be honest, I just wanted not to follow the steps I would have taken in my life. I would like to prepare him for a place where he has like support or whatever he put his mind to as in the will of God. I just want to be there and to support him.
I know you're a very strong Christian. You're very strong in your faith. I see him at work. He has his Bible open, and he's constantly in the Bible while he's doing his work indeed. And so that's a powerful example for your son, and a powerful desire for him as well to grow, to continue to walk in the way of the Lord indeed. What scares you most about the future? No, he's so small, and you see this wild world in which we live. What scares you?
Not being able to lead him in the right example, because you may train up a child when he's young. So my biggest thing, you know, is to instill the skills in him from a young age, so that as he get old, he got the understanding that he won't stray away. Cause I myself strayed away as a young boy, to be honest, but I came back. So I just want to be able that he will just walk the path, that whatever path he put in mind to, that God be instilled, that every decision he made, that I'll be there to be able to support or just to protect him or guide him around the path.
I know you reach a point where you want to do everything and anything. Your last cent goes to your offspring. You have that feeling too?
Promise to.
Oh boy,
so you know me as a hustler, like
I know.
I got harder now. Like,
you work even harder now.
So going towards something, you know. So you know, like He got left a legacy for my son as he comes out. He got have left a legacy.
Oh, this is beautiful, Demar.
Yeah.
Give us his name.
Dream Eastman. Dream Ezekiel Eastman.
You get it? I love that name so bad. Dream is the
people
name
was
of this
wondering
young
why
man.
Dream, but it's just my name, Demar, D-M-A-R.
Backward.
Yes.
Yeah, the name backward.
Correct.
You know, but
Twist it a little bit.
Yeah, that's all right. I
Yeah.
just love the name Dream.
Yeah.
Dream is his name. So when you meet Dream, as Dream grows, remember where he's come from. He's come from Demar. He is an Eastman, so Dream Eastman is Demar Eastman's young boy. And so Dream has the best possible future because Daddy loves him. I think you're a fantastic father. I've told you this a million times. I love the way how you feel about your child, your son, and the way you've invested in your son, the things that you do in sacrifice for your son. And so Demar, I wish you a happy Father's Day. I wish you well. And I wish you only the very best for Dream and everything else.
And Taj, don't forget Taj, my stepson as well.
And Taj as well,
Yes,
of
please.
course, of course. See, he hasn't even forgotten his stepson because that's how it is. Look at them right there. One happy family indeed. Dream being held in the arms of Daddy. And that must feel like the world of safety to Dream indeed. And his big brother, boy, this is beautiful. He big for real. This boy grow really, really fast. And that is beautiful just to watch him grow. And in 2-2s, he's going to be 21. Trust me, time goes by very quickly. We're taking a break right here. Happy Father's Day, buddy.
Thank you.
And we're coming right back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
Lord.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Here we're going on. Yes, we're going on. What a good. Yes, you know what's going on. I'm here to tell you what's going on. Yes, you don't know this June. The month of June is what? St. George. We got it right in St. George all over red. You see me in red? Yes, that's what we're talking about. But here we're going on though. You see the 14th, this Saturday that coming. Yes, this Saturday that coming in Farm Road. We got something called a Gully Hill roast. You know what I tell you? Roasting everything. You don't know. Yeah, you see? Are you ready, man? Preparing for the breadfruits. Yes, so remember, so much action them up in there, so much entertainment. I got hosting thing, you don't know, all my friends. So come out, yes, this Saturday, Gully Hill roast. Look, I gone, man. I gone.
Prepared wood to roast breadfruit indeed. And so that's what we're talking about now tomorrow at Gully Hill in Farm Road, St. George. That's where lots of people are gathering indeed for this big roast event. One of those who's participating is Chef Gregory Austin. We know his name because he's famous and it's really good at what he does.
Okay,
so Gregory, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
I know you've been a part of all of these the events around the island, so we know what you do.
Yes.
What's your role in tomorrow?
Well, I've been brought on board to basically facilitate the breadfruit roast, right? And again, using roast breadfruit and the fillings that go with it as well, right? And to give an idea of what the fillings will be, we have tuna, right? We're going to have some corned beef. There's going to be some roast pork, right? Some sort of chicken done somehow. I'll figure it out, you know, as we go, right? And vegetarian as well too, for those dreads or, you know, for those who don't, you know, doesn't eat meat.
Yes.
And then also Some fish as well, right? I'm going to go to the market later, grab some fish, and figure that out as we go as well. So just fillings, just to make it happen. So
and that's the whole thing. I mean, when you're cooking, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Sometimes just explore just a little bit broader, and you will see that you stumbled upon some magic.
Correct.
And that's that you want to not just tempt our taste buds, but to show us how creative we can be with everything around us that we have. It's just breadfruit.
It's just breadfruit.
You know, a breadfruit that's roasted and flavorful, but how do we top up that flavor now with our fillings? And that's the whole thing. I'm trying to imagine corned beef with breadfruit. I mean, I understand corned beef and breadfruit.
Right.
If I did breadfruit gravy with corned beef gravy with my breadfruit.
Okay, but the plan is to fry the corned beef up.
Now we got you.
With some onions and peppers and lots of gully herbs, those we pull from the gullies. But I'm using a lot of the farmers around, a lot of fresh herbs, right? I might even go and dig a rod or two of sweet potato, in the hot sun, And then also the plan is to have a nice pickle on top.
Oh.
So every element of sides we have, the plan is to do a nice pickle cucumber with a bit of Scotch bonnet pepper, right? And then just, top it off to give that heat, to give that culture, and also to give that Saturday pickle feel to the breadfruit, basically.
So you're doing demonstrations?
Well, no. You can come and watch while I prepare your food.
Right.
Because what's going to happen is that I have like flat grills, and I have like a skillet that'll be roasting the breadfruit. So it comes straight from the heat, straight on the flat grill, cut, slice, open up in a pan, stuff on top while it's still hot. A lot of butter, for those healthy persons, a lot of butter, right? But the plan is to get what we call the jus. French is the juice from the flavors.
Yes.
Add the butter to it and then just nappe it or just pour it right back on top. So flavors, incorporating flavors and lots of fresh herbs again, and fresh juices as well.
How do you know when a breadfruit is finished roasting? Really well roasted?
Well, it all depends on the size. If you have smaller sizes and bigger sizes and you roasted them the same time, you got to take the smaller ones out early, right? You look at the skin, you make sure that it's not started to shrink as well and not have the heat too hot. If it's too hot, it chars the outside and then cooks very quickly, and everything slowly taking its time. There's an art to everything.
I was just saying the same thing. I would never have known. I know you use a skewer when you're testing your cakes and everything else.
Well,
would you use a skewer?
No, I guess from just from observation experience as well, and regulating the heat. You realize it's going down, and the color is not looking dark enough. You just add some more fire, and it's so windy these days. You don't need to add because it's it's going to create
combustion.
Take care of that. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I just eyeball it basically.
You just
I get a sense of it. We tend
experience does that as well.
But we tend to want to touch and squeeze things and say, okay, it's spongy enough, so therefore it feels as if it's well cooked through.
Right, correct.
But that's not how you do it with roast breadfruit.
No, because it's going to be very hot for sure, right? But what you can do is actually just get a knife or something and punch it through. Once it goes right through, nice and easy, you know that it's cooked through. If you get some resistance down inside, closer to the heart, you know that it still needs some cooking further and heat on the inside. And the good thing about it, the skin of the breadfruit acts as an insulator for the heat. So you start it very hot. It penetrates the skin of it, gets nice and crispy, but then you just ease off with the heat and it finished cooks on the inside.
Just like how you do your rice.
Basically.
The rice is dry and now you don't have the same intensity.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also too, there's gullies around, and my plan is to just go and see, because I was hearing that there's lots of fruits and herbs and natural elements in the gullies in the area, so you never know. Between today and tomorrow I'll figure it out.
Boy, this is going to be quite an occasion indeed. From 10 o'clock in the morning in Farm Road in St. George, the Gully Hill roast indeed. Chef Gregory Austin will be there, and your fillings will be...
Well,
you're going to the market?
I go to the market to get some fish for sure, right? They're going to be a vegetarian filling. I'll figure that out as I go as well. Depends on what I get from the market, because I like to incorporate and use the vendors. There's going to be some corned beef, right? There's also some lamb, which one of the guys in the area actually promised to give as well. Because we've been speaking to the guys around,
area.
folks in the area, right? And there's a young lamb that's supposed to be given to me today. I'll figure that out as well as I go. But the main thing is to get everything, go to the kitchen, which is the lab, and just figure it out. Yeah, just for sure.
Figure it out, folks. You come down to Farm Road tomorrow to the Gully Hill roast from 10 in the morning till the afternoon.
Yeah.
And taste these breadfruit bowls and the fillings as crafted by Chef Gregory Austin. Patricia Ben overseas is saying, hello to all St. George regathering Gully Hill roast. She's sending all her hearts. She's loving it already, but she's overseas.
Yeah, she's overseas.
So next time, come now home. Indeed, I'll see. Yeah. And so it's happening tomorrow. We're encouraging as many viewers as possible to come through. Make this your Saturday jaunt tomorrow as you go to Farm Road, Bird Nest Avenue, Farm Road on the Gully Hill. Yeah. That's where you're going.
Peter Ram is also going to be there as well too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's can't forget that part.
I'm told that the Ram family, if they call them such, that they're really good at roasting breadfruit.
Actually, yesterday we had a little walkthrough, and he was actually giving me pointers. Telling me you got to put the paling up, make sure too much wind don't get in, the bread. So he's an expert on that. So he's going to be there too tomorrow. We're just going to have fun, It's all about, fun, coming together, community spirit, that whole, everything. So
that's some good roast breadfruit, boy. Thank you so much, Chef Gregory Austin.
No problem. My pleasure being here.
You're welcome. And I really hope that many, many people come down and really taste, experience what it means to have that Bajan thing known as a roast breadfruit filled with it. I hope you get some saltfish and all the rest of it. Red herring, drop, hint. Indeed.
Correct.
So I wish you well. Thank you so much.
No problem. Appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Also happening tomorrow in St. George, by the way, don't forget there's the Spirit of the Lion show in the afternoon. I want to come to that as well. There's a farmer's market at St. Jude's Rectory. That's from 10 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. There's the Bite-In at Salter's Market at 6 in the evening. That's a little foodie thing. And so we want to encourage you tomorrow, Saturday, to get on and really spend time in St. George. So the Gully Hill roast starts at 10. The farmer's market also starts at 10 at St. Jude's Rectory. The Bite-In at Salter's Market right there in the corner, that open area right there, that starts at 6 in the evening. And of course, the Spirit of the Lion show also starts at 6, doors opening at 5 at St. George Secondary School. So St. George is filled with a lot happening tomorrow, and we just gather. Let's go gather. Thank you, all the best. Indeed. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get...
Roadblocks is happen to all away. I want you to keep your head up, stay focused totally. The Father give we blessings, give thanks for every day. Jah guide we on we way, don't care what people say. Cause I know you're putting in work constantly, and you know bad mind they have a lot to say, and we know they cannot take what Jah give away. Look how we make it fine.
Oh boy, that's a positive song of affirmation indeed to all of us today as we face the challenges moment by moment, day by day. We're winning today. Close your eyes for just a moment. Close your eyes. Hear that voice in your head one more time. Do you know who it is? I'm being serious. Do you know who it is? I think when you get to that point where you can close your eyes, hear a voice, and then immediately see who it is, that person has done well. In doing so, you clearly know it's Yannick Hooper. Yannick, good morning to you.
Morning, morning.
Good to have you again.
It's fantastic to be here. Fantastic.
Happy crop over, my brother.
Same to you.
And so, again, big songs from Yannick Hooper. You have two big ones I know because I was on the air, yes, I played them. I'm on the air later on as well. I'm going to play them again today.
Nice.
Talk to me about that one we just saw, Winning Song.
Sure. So I wanted to bring out a record that represented for the people that pushing on in life. I think each and every person, you know, is working towards something. And I want people to know that you will achieve it once you stay true. And the song also represents that feeling of when you finally achieve your goal, the release, the feeling of bliss, happiness. And I kind of look at that as crop over as well too, because for people going along the day, you know, things can be quite mundane. And when crop over comes, things become exciting. You know, we meet up with our friends and we enjoy. So that's basically the motivation behind the record, a record that touches on perseverance and the feeling of when you finally accomplish your goal.
When did it strike you to write the song?
Just, I think, a year ago, you know, just thinking, what do people need to hear? And I've been doing this thing for a while, you know, I have a big catalog of all types of songs. And I said, I wanted to do something that was motivational, something that from the time you press play, you might not even have to be in a crop over setting, but you could be motivated to know that sometimes people may be fighting along with you, but at the end of the day, like once you stay focused, you're gonna succeed. So that was basically the goal. I kind of said, I want to do something that I think my people need to hear, and that was the motivation.
Wow. You know, you said you've been in this for a little while. You've been in this from around 2012 or thereabouts.
Yeah, you got a good memory.
I'm working hard on it.
Fantastic memory person.
And so, here it is now, all these years later, 13 or so years later, you're still doing it. Does it still feel as exciting?
More and more each year, to tell you the truth. Like,
Why?
I just think that to be able to connect with people, it seems like my purpose. And through music, anybody that knows me knows I love music, I love soca. So to be able to express through that, like each and every year, you know, you're meeting people, you're getting messages from people in Barbados and overseas saying that your music is motivating them, it's moving them, it's doing well in different places, and that's kind of what I always wanted to do. So I give thanks every day.
About being able to stay consistent, which is what you do, and at the same time being heard when other people are new coming through. So that means brand. Talk to me a little bit about the conscious effort you made about brand and sound so that you're recognized and seen.
Absolutely. So I love that you say conscious effort because it's something that over the years I kind of studied what will separate me from the rest. And I think a lot of the times what separates you is actually staying true to who you are. I'm somebody that I draw influences from all over the world because I look at myself as a child of music. So it's not only, let's say, Barbados or the Caribbean that I'm pulling from, and also to the thing of like delivering. I think soca music, there's a certain delivery in the soca music. You must come with energy. You must come with, you know, things that will excite. So just those things, staying true to those things, I think is what can separate artists. And I think once you're doing it consistently, your brand actually takes form with not even having to overthink it. So I've managed to see that over the years because, as you said, like from hearing the voice, you know it's me. And that's something I feel very fortunate because there's a huge pool of artists, as you rightfully said. So I give thanks. I give thanks.
Do competitions matter to you?
Not as much as before. So when I first got into the music, you know, because soca, the element of competition is something that is pretty praised. But as I evolved in the music, I realized that this thing is more about just connecting with people. I'm a competitive guy naturally as well, but the competition is always secondary because I've, you know, been in the People's Monarch, whatever. And these things are great, but you see the thing of connecting, of just being able to move on the street and somebody saying, yo, brother, I love that song. or that song inspired me. Even with winning today, like people have been messaging me left, right, and center for all kind of reasons. Somebody said that they just got a promotion and this song resonated with them. But also there have been people that are saying that they might have lost their job and this song is telling them to stay true. And if you have trust in God, He's going to align greater things for you. So to have a moment that is kind of touching from both angles, I can't complain.
So much I want to ask you. But I'll go on that last comment. When you hear those kinds of comments from people, does it put pressure on you?
Not
really?
Not really, because as I said, I look at this as my purpose.
Good.
And because it's my purpose, I don't necessarily feel the pressure because I know that I'm walking in line. I almost think as if I was kind of veering from my purpose, then I would be pressured like what to do next. But I know my purpose is to uplift with the soca, and you know, it just comes as second nature.
People's Monarch now, that moment in time when you found yourself judged by the people and assessed by the people.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about what that meant to you to know that the people are the ones who ascended you.
That was a really, really crazy moment for me because it was, you know, in 2012 and I was very, very young, very passionate, and I almost kind of got skyrocketed, you know, into the eye of the people. And I love that you focus on People's Monarch over every other competition, because that competition actually was the dearest to my heart. Because, you know, with the other competitions, you have sometimes a panel of judges that can be 6 or 7, whereas People's Monarch is an entire country voting for you. And from that period, you know, I've always felt the love from Barbados. You know, they got behind me that year, and every year, you know, people see me and they just say like, I can't wait to hear what you're coming with, you know. And some people look at it as pressure, but I look at it as purpose, because I prefer that than people saying, well, I'm not interested in what you're coming with. It's always, I can't wait to hear what it is for this year.
From crop over to crop over, what do you do in between there?
I hit the road. I was lucky to have the conversation with you in Trinidad this year. I must tell you, I didn't wake up for many people that year because I was busy, but I woke up to talk to you. So I kind of hit the road. I got to do Trinidad Carnival this year, which was fantastic. I usually do Notting Hill. Sometimes I do New York. So for me, crop over is where I get my energy and inspiration, and then I take it to different parts, whether it be the diaspora, because we know we have Bajans all over the world that longing for a little piece of home, or it could be places like Trinidad, which was pretty new to me this year, but I kind of, you know, take the music and just rep for the culture.
Listen, you rep well. You have the look. I told you that before we started.
Appreciate it.
Keep it up. Keep up what you're doing. We are very, very pleased and very proud. You have 2 songs, Winning Today and Come Together. And so on our radio stations, for sure, you hear them every single day, because we are feeling the festival indeed. And so, Yannick, I wish you best with all of your future endeavors and whatever else God takes you, okay?
Thank you. I wish you the best as well, too.
Thank you.
Always doing a fantastic job.
Bless your heart, man. Thank you.
Appreciate
But I want to give people a taste of what Come Together sounds like from Yannick Hooper. Take a listen, take a look. That's Yannick Cooper. Remember, there's a coming together on Sunday for the House of Soca tent at the Derek Smith School. That tent opens at 6 o'clock. It's their opening night, and you can come see him and many more. You remember, you get 2 in for the price of 1. That's a very good special indeed, not to miss. So the House of Soca pitching tent this coming Sunday, Father's Day, as a matter of fact. Bring daddy, bring the whole family to the Derek Smith School and see Yannick Cooper and a whole cast of outstanding performers indeed. All right. Folks, that's it for today. To all of the fathers watching and everywhere, we wish you a happy Father's Day on Sunday. And to all of you, my little crew joins me in saying to all of you, have a great today, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.